pray for them as I drive by. As I drive by, it shows a little bit of,
I feel bad for a homeless person.
But I mean, I even feel bad, and this might be extreme. I even feel bad for people when their credit card get declined in the line at Lowe's.
That's embarrassing.
Yeah, I feel bad. I feel bad having to tell you that your credit card.
Oh, that's even worse when you got to tell somebody but not denied. Yeah.
Right. And I'm trying to make it more positive. We can try again. Sometimes the computer, I don't know, but I feel bad for people like that.
I think that, the reason why I say that, because I'm just thinking about the scenario of, a girl that, you hear people gossiping about certain people. They talk them down so badly. And, it's females, oh, that female such and such. She's a this, she's a that, she's a this. She, all that kind of stuff. But they don't realize that it's always something else going on. Yeah, this person can make better decisions with what's going on in their life. But it ain't always just that person. There's other stuff going on, too. And I just look at that, that example. Of course, that's a trivial example because, when you think about it, like, it's people that's down here that are hungry right now as we speak. And they're college students. We see them in class. They're struggling to pay rent. They got family problems at home. They're sending money back home. The parents on drugs or alcoholics or they're facing depression or stuff like that. So there's a lot of stuff going on with people that we know. And it just sometimes you got to take a step back and be like what you said, like, would I want that if that was me? Would that hurt me if I was that person? And to not just look at it but say, well, what can I do to make that at least one person? And it goes back to that smiling, like just sitting there talking to them. That can make them more motivated to keep going instead of going and, worst case scenario, shooting the brains out of someone. Why want suicide note?
This one I really want to get to, accept people as they are.
That's hard.
Okay.
That's hard. Because we, first of all, have expectations. If I never met you, that's one thing. But say if I never met you and I talked to Jamel, but Jamel met you, he said, oh, be such and such. I don't really know you. But I'm not giving you that chance. So I'm going in that situation with a certain amount of expectations. I would love to say that I take people as they are, but to be honest with you, there's people's, and I'm pretty sure that I have it too. Like, there's things that I do or that I say that annoys other people. And I accept it, but I don't think I really truly accept it. I think I tolerate it because I want to get to know them. I think it's easy. I think it's a good trait if we could actually accept them unconditionally. But you know how sometimes, maybe if Shawty was a little bit more taller, I go with her. Shawty had a little bit more breasts, if her booty was a little bit bigger. If homeboy had more money, or if he actually had his haircut, or small little stuff like that. We look at sometimes and we don't realize it.
For me, over the last year, I would say that I've seen myself learn to be more accepting of people in general as they are with their flaws and everything. But the thing is, like, we all have negative traits about ourselves, things we can work on. Everybody has it, nobody's perfect. So the thing is, like, it's easier for me to be more accepting of you and your negative qualities if you know what they are and I can see you actually trying to work on them versus having an excuse for it. People say all the time, I'm just being real, I'm just being real. A lot of times people use I'm just being real as an excuse to be rude. And if it's something like that, well, that's when I could find myself being less accepting of you as a person. I don't want you around me or whatever. But if you're working on the things you know you need to work on, or even if you're not, maybe if you're working up to being able to work on those things, then I can easily, accept that. It's not going to be perfect. It's going to be a problem with whatever the issue is, but at the end of the day, if you're working on it, you're trying to make yourself better, you can't knock a person for being a good person.
Yeah, I think one of the biggest things is your network. The people that you're around, you take certain characteristics from them.
Jamel, I want you to talk.
I am. I'm letting it go.
And I think one of the biggest things is like if the people around you are judgmental of folks, you slightly become judgmental too.
Mm-hmm.
And that kind of discourages you from seeing people as who they are and to accept them and to appreciate them for not being perfect and for
Right.
just being human.
And I actually enjoy getting to see people's, they're not even flaws all the time, people's quirks and things that make them unique. Because if we were all perfect, it would be boring. Like, the things that aren't, quote unquote, I guess, normal, whatever normal is, you know, those are things that make you stand out. Those things make you individuals. Those things make you unique. And I love seeing people's qualities come out like that. And I hate when people are just so judgmental of other people for the smallest things, big things, because it's not necessarily how they see it or how they want it to be. You know, it's a problem. I was in a seminar the other day, and they were showing celebrities with makeup, no makeup, and they were talking about how models' pictures are always edited for ads and stuff. And you know, Cindy Crawford has this quote that says, "I wish I looked like Cindy Crawford." She said it about herself because, you know, they Photoshop pictures and everything. And they showed a picture of her Photoshop and showed a picture of her, you know, in her everyday life. I heard some girl say, "Oh, she looked bad." Like, what does that say about you for judging? She doesn't look bad. She looks normal. She looks human. She looks like a woman, like a normal person. And I just hate things like that when people are judgmental, especially when I feel like you should support each other. I feel like, especially, I'm just going to use women as an example. I think women should support women, and I hate when people are bashing other people for nonsense. Like, they can do anything to you. Her picture just came up. That's it. And I just feel like that about anything. I feel like we all need to just support each other in life. Okay.
Just not be very accepting. The most recent experience I could think of was when I actually got a gay roommate, and I was real judgmental when I saw him. I'm like, you know, gotta watch my stuff twice. You might not want to say the same stuff. Like, man, I gotta lock my door and stuff like that. But after a while, I grew to accept him. And, you know, he was a good person. So.
I mean, it doesn't come easy. I think it just comes with time and learning.
Being presented with counterexamples.
Right. So, what about love yourself without condition?
That's hard too. But I think that when you get down to the root of it, when you do accept yourself, it allows you to, one, love others for
That
who
was
they
one
are.
of the lessons on here.
For who they are.
Mm-hmm.
And it also allows them to see you as you are. Like, personally, a lot of people have, you know, very good perception of me. And they tell me, you know, I think you like this person, I think you like this person. I'll say, well, hold up now. There's a lot of stuff that, you know, I got faults too now. Like, I don't want to just let you think that I'm just this person. Yeah, I do this, I do that too, though. Get the full view of me. Because I've taken that time to reflect and see the full view of me. And, you know, beat myself down on what I don't like about myself and all that kind of stuff. But I'm like, in the time that I've been beating myself down or ridiculing myself, I could be doing to improve myself.
You could be building yourself up.
And
right.
finding ways to make myself more happy about the things that I don't like.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that kind of thing. And it's just only the willpower that you have in yourself to do those things. But I think you should love yourself without condition.
Yeah, I think that, I know, like, in high school, I could probably say that I was critical of people, more critical than maybe I should have been. But, you know, that's high school, that's back then, can't go back and change it, but I'm not that way now. Like, I know that in the last 2 years, I have never, ever, ever been as comfortable with myself now as never ever been as comfortable with myself as I am now. That's what I was trying to say. And I know that correlates with me also accepting other people's flaws because I accept my own. And I accept all of me. So that just opens the door for me to accept other people as they are. I just feel like if you're a good person, I can't knock you down for that. I can't.
Going back to like elementary school, I had to love myself. You growing up as like a dark skinned dude or a dark skinned person, you gotta love yourself. Cause I mean, them jokes gonna come. So
Yeah, I mean, I think that people who are more confident with themselves are less affected or appear to be less affected by the negative things people have to say. Just because, I mean, if you feel a certain way about yourself, it's how you feel. Can't nobody change that. Or if people should not be able to change that if you're that, locked into your.
It should not make you feel more negative
Right,
about it. I
exactly.
think if they're in there trying to get you to see how humanly beautiful you are,
Mm-hmm.
and that's how, because you don't have to be the most sexy, attractive person to be beautiful. I mean, it's all a natural inner, strength that you have. But I mean, it's crazy, man, because it's like every type of person has self-esteem issues or self-worth issues.
Mm-hmm.
The tall, the short, the big, the little, light skin, dark skin. People wear glasses, people with 20/20, those who always hear that they're beautiful have issues, those who always hear that they're not so attractive have issues, intelligence levels, everything
Right.
is like age levels, like people
Mm-hmm.
that feel like they're too old or someone that feel like they're too young, like everybody's going through that
Right.
type of mentality where it's just like me against the world.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody understand me, and we all in the same boat.
We all human.
But we just don't realize we all in the same boat. Like, take a step back and look around you.
I mean, it's really easy to feel alone and to feel like you're fighting your own battle by yourself. But I mean, at the end of the day, we all human. We all have our great days, and we all got some days we don't feel that great. I say 9 times out of 10, you can't tell me nothing. I'm sorry, you just can't. But it's gonna be a day in there where it's like I just want to go curl up in a corner and hide out.
Find that day.
Oh, whoa. But yeah, I mean, we all got our good and bad time.
I was like to come to school and get my left hand people were going, because there wasn't many left hand people in school until I got to college. I was like,
All right, I'm gonna do this one. We're gonna take a quick break. This is something that is like it pounded into my brain all my life, and I still have to remind myself of this all the time. If it's out of your control, why fret about it? And I know my brother. I have a half brother. When he became a deacon, something he said was, if you're religious, if you're gonna pray about it, don't worry about it. Simple as that. And if you're gonna worry about it, don't pray about it, because you can't, pray about something and then question whether something's gonna follow through, something's gonna happen for you. But I just had to learn, and I still remind myself of this every single day, that if something's out of your control, something you can do about it yourself, you can't worry about it, because it's not going to be an outcome to you worrying about something that you cannot affect.
That's a good wrap up of that. I would just say that it's hard to do that sometimes because we as people don't like to deal with uncertainty.
Mm-hmm.
We have to know that it's either not gonna go well and to be depressed about it, or we know that it's gonna work out in our favor.
Right.
And sometimes just the process of it, just the time that it takes for us to just be like, man, I wish I just knew the answer.
Right.
Is the most trying time, because it's just kind of like I could either be made or broken by the decision that's going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
And my dad, he didn't say that word for word, but he just kind of just like, there's some things you just not going to be able to handle. There's some things that's just going to be out of your control, and you just got to let it just play out. That don't necessarily mean it's going to be bad. That don't mean you're going to be happy with it, but some things in life are just the way they are.
You got to take it and go with it, but it really is hard to be content with uncertainty. I know for me, I'm a planner. I will sit here in this agenda book for 30 minutes and plan out my week. When to do it, and I was over here doing it before the show started.
It's true.
Like, so, like, uncertainty, it's not that's not something that's easy for me. But when you can't do something, you can't do anything. All you can do is roll with the punches and just make the best out of the situation. That's all you can do. Is what you got to do.
I agree with what y'all said. I really don't like uncertainty. Like right after I take a test, I like to run up to my teacher and find out, can we go over the test after I finish? But I really don't get sad. Like if something don't go my way, I usually cut my emotions, cut my losses real quick, and try to go on with the day.
Well, it will really depend on what it is. If it's something small, then maybe I'll be disappointed for a second, but keep it moving. But if it's something big that I might have had my heart set on and it doesn't go right, like getting time off to go home or go somewhere, go visit people. If I don't get that, actually when I didn't get that, I was devastated.
I always think of like the worst case scenarios.
But
Is that hope for the best but expect the worst?
yeah, that's something else I learned too. That's how it has to be. We're gonna take a quick break. Stay tuned to the Love Below.
When they flip flop, I'll be mad. Like, man, you got me happy.